Isabella's Inner Treasures. Adventures to learn by. It is a quiet Saturday night, and little Isabella is getting ready to go to bed. Isabella calls her parents. She yawns and stretches. Dad makes Isabella's bed, while Mum takes her to the bathroom to brush her teeth. As Isabella walks out of the bathroom, she finds her father taking out a beautiful storybook from a bookshelf next to her window. Isabella feels happy because she loves bedtime stories. She gets into bed next to her dad, while Mum begins to read a story. Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, there lived a young prince. Isabella's eyes brighten as she listens to the story. She wonders what will happen to the prince next. Isabella raises a hand and asks, "Did the prince live in a golden castle?" Mother laughs. "I don't think so. We'll have to wait and see." Isabella smiles and nods. But something starts to happen to Isabella. As her mother continues to read the story, Isabella's eyes begin to feel heavier. It isn't long before she feels sleepy. Mum and Dad kiss her, turn off the lamp and say, "Good night, darling," as they leave her bedroom. Little Isabella yawns and settles down to sleep. Suddenly, she hears a thud. When Isabella opens her eyes, she sees a book from the shelf on the floor. Huh? She sits up and stares at the shelf. All at once, a sparkling bright light fills the space on the bookshelf where the book fell off from and lights up the room. She hears a very gentle voice softly saying, "Hey, Isabella." Puzzled, she hops out of bed and walks slowly towards the bookshelf. "Hello? Who's there?" she calls out, wondering who said her name. Step by step, Isabella walks into the bright light coming from inside the shelf until her entire bedroom disappears. Isabella now finds herself in completely new surroundings, and she can't help but stare with wonder and delight. Isabella has made friends with a golden pony with a rich mane named Nadia, and they set off in search of fresh fruit in the forest. They both love red and sweet-smelling raspberries, so they make the first stop at a raspberry bush. While they pick up the fruits, the raspberry bush begins to move, and they hear a noise behind it. Feeling afraid, Nadia runs away, shouting to Isabella, "Let's run! Let's run! It's probably a huge bear!" But Isabella does not lose her cool and carefully goes around the raspberry bush to find out what is behind it. What a surprise! She finds a chubby badger moaning and struggling to escape from the thorny branches that have trapped him. Isabella helps the badger out of the raspberry bush, and Nadia, seeing that there is no danger, comes back towards them. "I admire your attitude. You were so calm. I wish I was more like you," she tells Isabella. "I let the fear overwhelm me."
"Oh, I'm glad you came by."
The badger breathes a sigh of relief.
"I could have stayed trapped there for hours if you hadn't discovered me and saved me." I want to give you this basket of raspberries that I've managed to collect so far.
Thank you, Badger. But you keep those for yourself. We will have a lot of fun picking our own fruit, says Isabella, beginning to look for the ripe raspberries. On her way out of the house, Isabella passes Aunt Lydia, who has just made some cookies with delicious raisins on top. Isabella fills her pockets and runs to eat them outside on the bench in the garden. Suddenly, she hears a whimper beside her. A baby squirrel is watching her and licking her lips. "What's your name?" Isabella asks curiously.
Rita, I'm a little squirrel.
"How come you came so close to me, Rita? Squirrels are usually more cautious." Isabella marvels.
I was looking out for food and I saw you enjoying those things in your hand so much. What are they?
"Raisin cookies made by my aunt." Squirrel Rita sighs.
Oh, are they good?
Isabella offers her a piece to taste.
Oh my, they are delicious.
Rita exclaims.
I've never eaten anything so tender and tasty, and neither have my brothers.
Isabella encourages her to call her siblings. They all eat cookies together, sitting on the bench. They talk, tell jokes, laugh together, and feel happy. When she is about to leave, Isabella gives the squirrels the remaining cookies as a gift. Rita tumbles with joy.
Wow, I'm so grateful for your generosity.
Thank you from the bottom of my heart for these tasty cookies. We are all so happy that we met,
and we've discovered something new.
I'm glad we spent this time together, says Isabella. Have a nice day. Walking along, Isabella sees a bakery, and the smell of fresh bread tempts her. Lots of people are queuing in front of the door because these bakers are very skilled and know how to make very tasty bread. An elderly man with a slight limp arrives to join the queue. He is known as Mr. Forest because he had once been a forester in this area. Isabella sees him struggling to stand at the end of the queue and feels she wants to help him. She immediately decides to ask everyone in the queue to let the old forester go first, so he doesn't have to stand in line for so long. Everyone agrees with her, and they let Mr. Forest go first. With warm bread in his hands, the old man thanks Isabella.
My dear girl, you treated me with kindness, and I would like to share some of my bread with you. Let's sit down and enjoy these bread rolls together.
And so, Isabella and Mr. Forest sit on a stone bench in the park nearby and share steaming pieces of fresh, tasty bread.
I have 2 grandchildren about the same age as you,
says the old man.
Someday you should come and play with them in my garden.
Isabella thanks him happily and continues on her way. A soft wind blows the curtains, and a ray of warm sunlight falls on Isabella's face. She can see a bright light as her eyes open slowly. Oops. Isabella smiles in surprise as she realizes that her adventures had all been a dream. She climbs out of bed and walks towards the kitchen, where her parents are preparing breakfast. Good morning, Mum. Good morning, Dad. She greets her parents joyfully. Good morning, love. Her parents say, glad to see her. How did you sleep? I just had the most amazing dream. Really? Tell us all about it, they say with curiosity in their voice. Isabella nods happily and begins to tell her parents of her wonderful adventures that she dreamt of last night. I kept my calm when Nadia, the golden pony, was startled by the noises coming from behind the raspberry bush. It turned out to be a badger trapped in the thorny branches. I enjoyed being generous and shared Aunt Lydia's raisin cookies with the squirrels, and they told me they had never eaten anything so tender and good. Passing by the bakery, I showed Mr. Forrest kindness by asking everyone in the queue if they could allow him to go first in line, since he was older and it was better for him not to stand for too long. Isabella's parents are looking very proud of their daughter's good soul. Wow! Those are amazing adventures. Mum smiles. It shows that you have a kind heart and you are full of courage too. Thank you. I feel so happy to discover all these gifts that I can share with others. You make a good point, her mum says. All these wonderful traits that you shared in every encounter are yours, as part of who you really are. They are treasures that you possess, and the more you share them, the more they will grow. Isabella looks at her parents, wondering about something. I would love to have more adventures like this. Is there any way I can do this? Of course there is, Mum replies. By reading books, you can have so many kinds of adventures and also learn new things about yourself and about life. The conversation continues as they all sit together eating their breakfast and sharing these beautiful learnings about life from Isabella's adventures. Hey! Wasn't that fun? Follow Isabella on her next adventure, as she has many more stories to explore and places to discover. She has a wonderful time making new friends, meeting lots of animals, and learning about herself and the virtues of life. Every story has a special lesson that will help grow into a happy and healthy person. And the best part is, she gets to laugh and have a great time while she learns. We hope you have a magical time as you explore the other animated adventures we have created for you.